Hi, guys. It is November 10, 2021. I had a very strange thing happen today, and it was not pleasant. You know, the morning into early afternoon, I was feeling, pretty much my normal self, which my normal self deal with pain every single day. Takes me hours to function in the morning. Just exhausted. And since I've moved to Maine, I've noticed, well, I don't know what's going on with my cats. They seem to be sleeping an awful lot, and they're just different. But the exhaustion, but it's hard for me to pinpoint anything because my life is just that kind of exhausting mess. But since coming to Maine, yes, she now has Wi-Fi, which I didn't know, but I don't know if it's the Wi Fi. I don't know if it's the area because there's a power station just a half mile down the road. They're putting up solar farms here in Maine, which I'm going to get into. There's a Gwen Tower, that you walk outside, you can see it. It's that close. I don't know, but I've been having very strange symptoms, a dizziness that will come on, and I'm not even sure how to describe it. One night, lying here trying to get to bed, trying to fall asleep, and a weird kind of dizziness came about. Maybe it was a vertigo episode lying down. I don't know. I've had several vertigo episodes. But today, wow. Today, well, that was rather extraordinary. It came on suddenly. I started getting this weird but very excruciating pain on my right side, just this side, all from hip to shoulder. Then it would, shoot down like into my rib cage, shooting pain into my arm. I was like, but it got so excruciating, and I have a pretty high threshold for pain. This, and I'm trying to remember. I know that I was making noise. I was either moaning or groaning or something. It was bad, and then I got really hot, and I felt like a slight nausea coming on, but I threw up. Now, I don't throw up. I threw up. Afterwards, I got really cold, and I had no choice but to hit the bed. I passed out for hours and woke up still feeling very, very weak, very not right. I'm feeling a bit better now, but still, just feeling very out of it, very just weak. But I was thinking about targeted individuals, those who are actually targeted with these electromagnetic frequencies and the pain that they have to endure. I don't know how you guys do it. This was excruciating, and I never want to experience it again. The reason why, and look, I never say definitively this is what it is, because invisible weapons. Well, if I don't have definitive proof, I'm not going to, be claiming that it is the frequencies. But when it comes on suddenly, and the pain right after I threw up, this, and it had nothing to do, with my stomach, but this pain began to subside, and it began to subside pretty quickly. So when it comes on suddenly and it leaves kind of quickly, and you might be experiencing, like a pain hangover, okay. I don't know what else to. I have no idea where it came from, what the hell was going on, but it also started to burn. That leads me to believe, microwaves? Or at least question, was it microwaves? I don't know. But those who have to endure this kind of physical pain, targeted or not, it could be from some kind of trauma. Wow. Strong. That's all I can say is you are strong. So, trying to keep the momentum going for myself to, just get back into things. So we're going to do some crazy again and not so crazy, some important information, but the information certainly tells you that an awful lot of Americans are really hurting, and having been one that has kind of kept her finger on the pulse of American, what shall I call it? American morality or lack of. I know there are so many people out there who are hurting, suffering, struggling, and they have no one. They have no one. And I wish that there was a way that we could organize to help one another. Yay! All right. Oh. That's my greatest frustration. Not being able to pull something together. Well, still don't really know how to do it. All right. Let's do a little bit of crazy. Now, this Daily Caller video, this was posted, I don't know how long ago, maybe a year ago, but Daily Caller just posted it again. And it really, okay, the Democratic Socialists, these are communists, all right? Like AOC, like the Quad, representatives in Congress, like a whole lot of, Biden and Pelosi, and, well, they don't believe in anything. They just, they're puppets. They're getting the job done. They could give a shit about anybody but their own little tuchis and, but the young. Yeah, I listen to them. All right, here, listen.
I thank Natalie for flattering me. The truth is I'm not the leader of security here. Y'all are. Everybody is responsible for the collective security, safety, and everyone's needs being met here, keeping each other safe, keeping each other secure, and making sure that everybody is able to fully participate in this convention. We have a lot of disabled comrades, and a lot of those are invisible disabilities. So it's up to us to modify that space to make sure that everybody is able to move in the ways that they need to move. First of all, in this room, I see that no one's clapping for me. It could be because I'm not engaging, but it also is because everyone's doing this. And that's really important because those loud bursts of noise, even though this is a noisy space, when we can do something like reducing that, that's really important. So please don't clap, shoot up these. And additionally with the noise issue, like avoid hissing, avoid waving banners, right? If you don't know what to do, show up these, right? I'm sure there's lots of ways that we can communicate to each other without needing to rely on something that's going to hurt somebody else. We have quiet rooms that are available. There's a range of options of these, right? On 7, there.
Just let me interrupt just for 1 second here. Now, can you imagine the Leninists, the Russians, the Soviet Union communists who, can you imagine they conducting their meetings like this? Yeah, some disabilities are invisible, but it's the responsibility of the collective to ensure that no one gets hurt, ever. What parents produced these people? They're like the socialist, okay, democratic socialists, which communists, they're so soft. They're such soft little creatures. They need quiet rooms. Forget it.
There's one that has video but no sound, if you still want to be able to observe the convention, but the sound is an issue. There's also in Piedmont 8, a completely quiet room. One thing to note there, please don't go into that space with anything that's like an aggressive scent, for instance, right? Because that's going to be difficult for people. The principle of collective security is we don't want to put people in stressful situations that they don't consent to, right? And we have to be accountable to each other that our actions might have negative consequences for other people. We're also talking about de-escalation, right? Because people are going to have different experiences of things that some others might think is normal heatedness, and I think in some of that there's an inevitability there, but it's going to be really traumatic for people if we're not making an affirmative effort to de-escalate each other and de-escalate ourselves, right? If you are having a conflict with somebody, feel free to step away, right? We're going to make sure that you can get out of that space. Let somebody else step away if they need to step away, right? Don't talk to cops. Don't talk to MAGA assholes. We're almost there. But thank you. We are safe and we are strong because there's power in collective work, and that's exactly.
Okay, so we can be all cuddly with one another, but the MAGA assholes, we can hurt them. What are we doing? How did we produce? Oh, well, I didn't, and you didn't, I hope. What? How did they survive the lockdowns? Because they seem to need the collective to ensure that they're safe and they never get hurt by anyone. Don't clap because that hurts. Don't go in with aggressive scent. Well, I think he means, perfumes, fragrances, which, frankly, yeah, I am chemically sensitive. I understand why the chemically sensitive are annoying to those who are not, but I get it. But I wouldn't go into a safe room for quiet time because I don't know. I think I'm a grown woman and I don't need people to protect me, protect my emotions. I'm pretty well equipped in that regard. Not that my parents did a good job, but I guess it was just the beatdown every day that, go ahead. Why are they not embarrassed? I don't get why they're not embarrassed. And then they call one another comrades. Can you imagine the Soviets conducting a meeting like this? It goes on.
Exactly what we're doing here, and we're going to rely on you to make that happen. So I'm very happy to be working with you on this project, and I hope everyone has a great convention.
I'm going to hand it to Natalie to make one quick announcement.
Okay, we have our 2 mics up front. We also have 2 additional mics that are being...
Let me move on to this one.
Guys, first of all, James Jackson, Sacramento, he, him. I just want to say, can we please keep the chatter to a minimum? I'm one of the people who's very, very prone to sensory overload. There's a lot of whispering and chatter going on. It's making...
If you are prone to sensory overload, stay out of these kinds of environments where the sensory overload will overload you. Oh, but the collective has to abide by the one person who's prone to sensory overload. Holy shit. See, these are the people that I would run from. Blah. Okay.
It very difficult for me to focus. Please, can we just, I know we're all fresh and ready to go, but can we please just keep the chatter to a minimum? It's affecting my ability to focus. Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. Okay, is there a speaker against name, chapter, pronouns?
Point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Okay.
I myself watched some of the counters not count some of the votes. And it may have been a mistake, but maybe we need to do this a different way. Maybe we need to have more time to talk about this.
So if you are standing up, could you please sit down and get into a seat so that so there aren't so many people moving around? And then let me consult the people who are counting. So everyone who is not a counter, take a seat. Take a seat. Everyone on the walls, take a seat so that we can count. When there's so many people moving around, it's very difficult to count. Okay. So we are going to take this count again. All the counting has happened by a vote of 523 to 443. That passes. And so we will, sorry, if we could respect our comrades. So with that, everyone, we're going to start voting. So let's take a deep breath. Great.
I'm rising to speak against this amendment to the rules as it would inhibit the democracy that is inherent to our organization. If you look at it, most of the time that has been wasted in this body was not wasted on debate. It was wasted in vote after vote after vote and voting on whether we're going to vote on voting. It is ridiculous, and this resolution would not save us any time.
What's your, yep. Could you get to a mic, or could someone run a mic to you?
When we're raising our placards, when we transition between the votes, can we slow down a little bit? Because it's starting to get confusing for people. Thank you.
Totally. Yep.
Totally. Totally. Okay. So, the comrades sure do need a lot of cushioning. Oh my God. This is what is taking over. My title, I think in the video that I posted last night, was something like, I wish, or I'd prefer, just straightforward tyranny. It seems more grown up. I don't know. I feel like I'm in a country with people who are little kiddies, and they're just kind of like playing a game. The game is dangerous, and it unfolds tyranny. But I'm almost embarrassed of how our tyranny is unfolding. Okay, so what else do I have for you? Oh, have you seen the White House channel? No, I'm not a subscriber, but out of how many millions do we have in our country? The White House only has 1.9 million subscribers. And if you check out the videos, just randomly, just, I don't know, go.
Really?
And you will see that the White House sure does have an awful lot of dislikes to their likes. 2.8 thousand dislikes to 400 likes. Let's just check out a couple of these, okay? How about, our fabulous vice president here. Dislikes 469, likes 139. And the views, wow, November 5th, that was 5 days ago, 10,000. Now, they outdo me, but they're not getting an awful lot of views. I don't think people want to be spending their time listening to these people. These people who call themselves Democrats are, well, as I've said before, bat shit crazy. 933 to 159. They have an awful lot of dislikes to their likes. Who is this person? These people. Listen. Gina McCarthy, National Climate Advisor. I know a lot of young people are worried. They're very soft and indoctrinated, Gina. They're, well, worried because of what you are claiming. I can't go on. Forget it. That I digress. Yeah, 498 to 154. 6,257 views. Not too many people like you, Gina. Oh my God.
Folks, we're at top 20.
Oh, good, Allie. 229 to 106. But if you just take a look, you'll see thousands of dislikes to their puny little like numbers. 615 to 283. Hosts a meeting with mayors. Now, there's a reason why I'm doing this, so hang on. How about the preschool? How you doing? 2001.1, 2000.1 dislikes to 382. Biden visits the kiddies. Oh, well, I understand why. Got thousands of dislikes. It's sad. Biden visits Scranton. Yes, the Build Back Better. 1,000.7 dislikes, 289 likes. YouTube has just announced they're ditching dislikes. To reduce targeted dislike attacks and their impact on creators, because creators don't like to be disliked. Like the White House. They don't like it when you hit dislike. So let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of... No, we're not going to get rid of, that little down thumb. We're going to hide the numbers. Why do you think YouTube is doing this? Because the creators who are, well, let's say, prone to needing safe places, quiet rooms, they get upset. They don't like to be disliked. And they are certainly of a liberal bent. So, we don't want the public to see how many really dislike them. That's why they're doing it. Unbelievable. You can listen to this video. Listening to this guy, I don't like anyone who works at YouTube or Google or any of these things. I do not like them. I have no respect for any of you because you don't play fair, you rig the game, and you're destroying our free speech, you are destroying our freedom, and you are, every one of you, employed by YouTube. You're a sack of shit. And I don't care that, this is, I only work here. No, you are part of an organization that is so friggin' evil, It is beyond belief. Like this guy.
Act that YouTube announced it was experimenting with making dislike counts private to only the creator of the video. Now, if you're like me, you were surprised by that. I mean, I've always thought seeing the number of dislikes on a video helps us know as viewers if it's a good video or not, if it's a helpful tutorial or not, or if what a creator is saying in their video is generally agreed with or not. But unfortunately, research teams at YouTube have found there's this whole other use for disliking a video that I had never experienced as a creator, and you may not have either. Apparently, groups of viewers are targeting a video's dislike button to drive up the count, turning it into something like a game with a visible scoreboard. And it's usually just because they don't like the creator or what they stand for. That's a big problem.
So YouTube is protecting us. YouTube is protecting us from the haters that click on that dislike button. Daddy YouTube, Mommy YouTube. They're protecting us. Because, well, we need to be protected. We need someone to protect us. Because we just get hurt so easily. And, well, if we get hurt, it doesn't mean that we need to do work on ourselves to strengthen our internal self so that, well, do that work necessary to find out why you're so squishy. Just have somebody protect you. This is such a sick world. But they're doing it because it's like mainstream media. A whole lot of their websites, they've gutted comment sections. Why? Because they have an awful lot of people who leave comments about their lying and misinformation, disinformation. That's why they're doing it. You guys know this. Preaching to the choir again, Carol. Okay. Yeah. This woman has, well, is she, what is she? All right. Whatever. She is the most fake thing. And I don't like fake. But this is fake. Now, she's got, I love this. All right, Harris is the most unpopular VP ever. Even more disliked than Dick Cheney. But don't worry, Kamala. YouTube is going to get rid of the disliked numbers. So nobody will know how much you are not liked at all. But, here, Cheney shot a man in the face with a 28 gauge shotgun, but he still managed to be more popular than Harris is. Now, she's kind of disappeared off the stage. I haven't really been checking my sites as I usually do. Why? Because this guy is soon to be gone. And, well, you know, this Harris thing, nobody likes her. And, yeah, she didn't really do a very good job on those things that this guy put her in charge of, like the border. Now I think she's gone on to, yeah, Kamala Harris in charge of the climate change. Okay. 28% approval rating, 51 disapprove, and the remainder, which is really quite incomprehensible that the remainder are undecided. But I think they've decided that, Kamala, you can't come out and make these public appearances anymore because, well, the American people detest you. And I'm going to be going because, well, you know that I'm going every single day. I'm fading into my own little world of dementia. And you have to step in to be the president of the United States. So we've got to hide you because you make really unbelievably just these mistakes all the time. You say stupid stuff. You laugh when, people are talking about, American suffering. And so let's hide you. Then we'll bring you out when we, put your hand on that Bible and you're going to, do that oath of office. That's why Kamala was picked. I posted a video on the corruption behind Kamala, the CCP, Chinese Communist Party, connections with Kamala. So, yeah. The American people can't stand these people. But do they care? No, they don't. That's the sad part. But somebody obviously cared enough, to say, you know what? I think we need YouTube to hide the dislike numbers, on those White House videos. I think we need to hide that from the public. We need to protect Joe and Kamala and Psaki. We need to make sure that only that like button, only the like number can be seen. But if you look at the view numbers, these are not people that other people want to see. So, U.S. consumer prices are soaring at their fastest rate in 40 years. And they're just going to continue to soar. All prices, everything. Insular elites are completely detached from reality. They have their own reality. They're not detached. They play their role on a stage and they pretend like we matter somewhat, but you don't. They never even think of you. $10 for bacon. Characteristic gaslighting. Oh boy, that gaslighting. And there is a difference between gaslighting and lying. Gaslighting, boy, that has its own special ingredients. Like, it includes lying. It's like a flipping of reality. And then the gaslighter keeps it up and claims you're crazy. That's our country. That's pretty much everybody in our country. It's not just these sick people like Kamala and Joe and Pelosi. And there are so many Americans who do the same thing. It's like nobody can take responsibility for anything. It's like so many people have their own personal agendas. And if you call them out, then they just gaslight you. Boy, I've had that happen an awful lot in my own personal relationships. Have you? I bet you have. So, the gaslighting, corporate media, complicity, inflation is transient. It's only transient here. Bank of Canada governor says inflation transitory, but not short-lived. Oh, it's going to go on for a long time. But it's transitory, don't worry. Literally, transitory defined as temporary, transient, brief, but not short-lived. Or you get temporary and even beneficial. That's right. Yeah, I saw this. Why the inflation we're seeing now is a good thing. So, why aren't you smiling when you go shopping and everything is more expensive? Because it's a good thing. So, all of you positive fruitcakes out there who only want to see the positive, and nope, you're too negative, and I just don't want to deal with you because I want to be happy. And you bring me down because the truth is negative. So, all of you positive types out there, I had a whole lot in my life. And you're having a hard time paying for your grocery bills, or you filling up your car with gas? It's a good thing. Be positive. Yellen predicts inflation will return to normal in second half of 2022. These people, everything that they do affects us and not them. Why do we let these people control our lives? Just another right-wing talking point. That's right, blame it on Trump. How about it? We now take a pause from the regularly scheduled, quote, Biden done for, hysterical commentary to consider if his economic performance will matter. They will use it to push the milk inflation hysteria. No doubt this will hurt the Democrats in the midterms. Struggling to feed your family, make rent, mortgage payments, or keep your small business running are problems for other people. Little people, the deplorable people. They have such contempt for all of us. They have such contempt. They don't give a shit how many people suffer and how much you suffer, and when will you begin to, come out of the reality that these people are creating for you, because it ain't real. It's not real. The same time that we're literally killing our own oil and gas industry in the name of climate change, we're simultaneously begging OPEC to boost production. So Biden closing down another pipeline, but we're begging OPEC, hey, give us a little bit more gas. Does that make sense? Doomsburg, I think he meant Bloomberg. America's energy strategy is bonkers. Even though it's not just America, Canada should be an energy superpower, but we're saddled with another coddled trust fund Davos darling, Trudeau, who loathes our independent resources and looks down his nose at, ordinary Canadians, all industry. In what universe is this rational? Gutting our oil and gas industry here in the United States and begging the Saudis for more. Or OPEC, okay. In what universe is this rational? It isn't. This is left-wing, champagne socialist logic run wild. Because now, when everything finally does go off the rails because of supply chain breakdowns, labor shortages, skyrocketing energy, and commodity costs, guess who or what is going to be blamed? Capitalism, free markets, run wild. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. But this is where we're headed. This is what some communities look like already. This is why people are quitting the whole damn system. It's why the labor force participation rate isn't coming back. Nothing is coming back. I hope you liked your new normal. And, guess what? Those of you who like it, you're going to love what's coming. Shipping's extreme consolidation could prolong supply chain pain. 16 companies control 80% of world's liner shipping, container production, box leasing capacity. The supply chain disruption is only going to get worse. And there's no incentive to change behavior. Why? Because these few companies are making a shitload of money. All right, is there a way to get rid of greedy people? Is there any possible way to get rid of greedy people? Because it's not capitalism. We don't have free markets because they're rigged. All right. How can we get rid of these people? Because, well, there's so many of us and so few of them. And we just let them destroy our lives over and over and over again. They're really big into destruction. That's what evil does. Evil destroys, good creates. So, if we can't get rid of the greedy people who are destroying other people's lives, then we have to figure out a way to help them. I shouldn't say help them, help all of us, because there's an awful lot. You know, I started this 12 years ago. I didn't know one subscriber who was hurting. Not one. Oh boy. And that's when I really got pummeled with how negative I was. And then, a couple years later, well, some subscribers experienced weather weapons, their homes destroyed. As I've gone on, more and more and more subscribers have fallen into holy shit. And an awful lot don't have help. Why can't we figure out a way to help one another? And yes, your donations to me, I do whatever I can to help others. I have to post a video talking about possibilities, because this is, are we just going to let people suffer? Are we just going to let people die? Because that's what it comes down to. So, no incentive to change behavior. And then those 16, you carve them out into, the specifics of the shipping industry, those who actually make the containers, those who do other things. Prices obtained by shipping lines are extremely high. There is still plenty of cargo waiting to be shipped in Asia. So shipping lines really are in an environment where there is absolutely no need to change their behavior. Same goes for container equipment factories, virtually all of which are in China. Following recent consolidation, the top 3 Chinese builders of shipping containers produce 83% of all new boxes. Quote, they are charging expensive prices for their containers. They have a vested interest in maintaining the high pricing levels, so we really can't see why manufacturing prices would drop. They have no incentive to change behavior. And it goes on and on. No incentive. Okay, so what does that mean? Here are the 8 liners that really have a stranglehold on the industry. And we happen to have supply chain disruption with shipping containers just floating around on one ocean, then on another ocean, and everything is so deliberate and it's so obvious. That's what I can't stand. It's just this destruction is so obvious. And the elephant in the room. Hello? You see it? It's big. It's pink. Polka dotted. You don't see it? Well, what can I tell you? You must be happy. But the supply chain disruption, yeah. Again, I'm going to say, any of you who can, if you have the resources to stock up on the essentials, do it. Because it's going to get harder and harder to do. Relief from high prices unlikely. Analysts say ahead of consumer inflation data release. Oof, boy, no. You know, and many are claiming we're at the beginning of hyperinflation. That's not great. That's really, oof, that's going to be a quick plunge down. Manchin says inflation not transitory, cannot ignore pain felt by Americans. Do you really feel our pain? Do you really? Now, this guy's wealth is like $8 million. I think he drives a Maserati, doesn't he? He's got the boat, yeah. So all of these people don't get affected by what they do to us. This has been going on my entire life. Oh, and, well, those who just want to deny reality, you know, they're just... they're dangerous. Whether they're denying reality of what's happening in your own personal relationships and your families, or it's, you know, collectively speaking, the Americans deny reality of what really is taking place, they're really dangerous because they're complicit with its destruction. It's not transitory. But I included this because this guy drives a Maserati. All right. Whew. Inflation in Atlanta tops all major U.S. cities. 7.9% price hike. Atlanta, you're expensive. Over 25% of college degrees have a negative return on investment. No shit. What are they learning? Well, they're learning which way to the quiet room. They're learning white people are bad, and they're learning all the woke, the gender, pronouns. Yeah, this is all very helpful, isn't it? It's very helpful in an insane world. See, that's why it's like straightforward tyranny. Don't you think it's much more mature? Uber overcharging disabled users. Justice Department says in lawsuit. They charge disabled users more for having to wait for somebody to come out using a walker, or having to put their wheelchair in the back, or blind. They charge them more. You think capitalism is the problem? Really? Whew. Well, I want to get back to this just for 1 second to say that colleges and universities, you guys who are graduating high school and you want to go to a college, don't. Do not. It's a waste of money. You're not learning anything. And if you think that whatever it is that you major in and you're going to find a job afterwards, oh, well, instead of going to college, will you pay me for the bridge I want to sell you? Parents, what the hell are you doing? You know, $306,000 for a bachelor's degree. Some degrees worth millions of dollars, while others have no net financial value at all. We don't have the jobs. You will be racked with debt to then come out of college and work as a bartender, which is better than a waiter or a waitress, because bartenders usually make very good tips if you're good at it. You know, well, there's no real manufacturing anymore. We don't produce anything anymore. And, well, university and college students have to get vaccinated, so I guess that won't be an issue for you if you are still, you know, with us after taking that jab. Maine bill aiming to curtail flood of solar projects. Okay. There's a solar farm about a half mile down the road from where I live. I hear from my friends solar farms going up everywhere. But a whole lot have said the solar farm projects in Maine will only increase electricity bills. But a whole lot of people have bought the bullshit. It's not going to increase electricity. Oh, it's going to be better for the environment, and your electricity bills will be less. Really? This is our governor, who is just fill in the blank. But here we go. Just today, Maine residents brace for power rate hikes over 60 to 80%. Yeah. Maine. Your electricity rates are going to go up from 60 to 80%. It's certain. It's certain. Okay. They are outpricing most Americans now. You're outpriced. And you're to die. 60 to 80%. Now, if you do a little bit of research, you'll find out that all of these utility companies are increasing their utilities. Here, I had other articles, I think. New England electric bills going up. Eversource residential ratepayers could see an increase of up to 21%. Maine is special. Maine is a Nazi state. New England region. Connecticut. All New England states are going to really experience inflation big time. And heavy burden for consumers as holidays near soaring prices. What a lovely picture. This kid looking at the price tag to get a Halloween mask. But worsening inflation, that's what they're talking about a whole lot. A whole lot. Inflation has taken away all the wage gains for workers. Wow. So, not too long ago, everybody was talking about how salaries, the Americans were making more money. Yay! Oh, wait. Inflation has taken that away. You're actually making less. You're making less today than you were even just last year. You're making less. I don't care that your salary, those figures are, a little bit higher than they were last year. The inflation has taken it all away. Your hourly rate, forget about it. It's bad. So, Biden's unhinged socialist banking nominee wants oil, coal, and gas industries to go bankrupt. No shit. It's what she has said. Biden has appointed for his comptroller of the currency, a Marxist. A Marxist, born in Russia, born in the USSR, and educated in the USSR, earned the Lenin Award, and has refused to turn over a thesis which Congressmen and women asked for, the thesis Karl Marx's Economic Analysis and the Theory of Revolution in the Capital. Now wants to put millions of Americans in the energy sector out of a job. And Americans can't figure something out, at least something, one thing. Can't you figure out just one thing? Okay, now, lockdowns for the pandemic destroyed an awful lot of jobs for Americans, which they've not been able to replace an awful lot of them. Businesses shut their doors. Their dreams gone. Now they're struggling to put food on the table. The mandate. Too bad for you. Ciao. You don't have a job. Oil, natural gas, propane, it's all getting more and more expensive. And we're going to gut all of those industries, bankrupt them. You think this is a good idea, Americans? Okay, this is what she said. And this is the transition, from oil and gas to, I guess, solar. And yeah, it's all about climate change. Here, what I'm thinking about is primarily the coal industry and oil and gas industry. A lot of the smaller players in that industry are going to probably go bankrupt in short order. At least we want them to go bankrupt if we want to tackle climate change. She will be fucking fine. And these people are destroying people's lives. Destroying them. What the hell are we doing here? What the hell are we doing? Joe Biden picks her for the top banking nominee. An unhinged socialist, unhinged communist. Do we care about anything here? Do we care about anything? Okay. Yep. Fueling the spike in prices. Now, yeah, there was a headline today. Biden and Xi, China and America, work together to tackle climate change. Isn't it interesting? We're going to war with China. But first, we're going to work together to reduce our CO2 emissions. China's not doing that. China's actually building more and more of their coal industry. Americans really like to be lied to. They love it. So, I hope that all of you, if you have family, if you have friends, if you know people in your community, if you have neighbors that are really hurting, that you are taking the initiative, extending yourself, not waiting to be asked, that you go and say, what can I do for you? How can I help? In fact, if you know some of the specifics about how you can help them, just do it. Just do it. Because we have never really lived in a country where Americans are compassionate and caring. In fact, they're more prone to shame and judge. So people are scared to ask for help. And that's why You take the action, you let go of the result, and you lead by example. You lead by example. And depending on whom you are helping, you may very well be the power of example for them to help other people as well. And that's how we change the world. We don't change it by, not changing ourselves. I actually have a lot more windows open, but that's enough for now. So, did you hear that? That's my my babe. Babe. Meow. He was sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. My other girl, Bandit, didn't even get up to eat dinner, and she's the eater. So, anyway, yeah. Now, as far as I'm concerned, all of our free time should just be out trying to help people and strengthening our bonds, working on ourselves, and every single day just, trying to change our own behavior in terms of, we've all lived, comparatively speaking, one hell of a life here in America. No, not everyone. We have been quite privileged. So, I don't know. I just feel like, the more you do for others, the better you feel about yourself. That's for sure. But it definitely has a ripple effect. And we have to change, the energy in this country. We've got to change our behavior and be the change we want to see. Do you want to see love and care and compassion? The only way is to be it. And frankly, I think, there's an awful lot of Americans who are afraid. They feel like, if, you're caring or you extend yourself, you're going to get yelled at or whatever, or you're compassionate and loving. There's an awful lot of people who think that that's weak and they shame that kind of behavior. No. That's how we got it wrong here in our country. We got an awful lot of things wrong. So, when we know that we have things wrong, the only thing that we can do is right it. Right it. Right the wrong. And I'm not saying that it's, going to turn everything around if one person does the changing. Of course not. That change has to have it in the aggregate. But it's really important for your own soul, for who you are as a human being. And those that you help, it's really important to them. So, ciao, guys. I hope you're all feeling okay. I gotta go back to sleep. Good night.